Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a general reading for the sign of Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Cancer, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, the information regarding that can be found in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance. Cancer, I hope that you're doing well. I'm going to be using two decks for your reading today. The first one, the overall energy from the Wild Unknown Archetypes Oracle deck, and I'm going to be using the Housewives Tarot for your tarot reading today. I've never used this deck on the channel before, so we'll see how it goes. So cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Thank you, Spirit. You got number 8, the Maiden. So this is part of the three-part series of these cards, Mother, Maiden, and Crone. And it's almost as if the Maiden is the kind of virginal, innocent, new. Thank you, Spirit. There's something to it. And it doesn't mean that you're like one of these things in a physical sense, although it could be. But it's more describing a person who is, I feel, kind of embarking on the journey. Just embarking on this new path. And, you know, it could be a new job, for example. You have no idea what you're doing. So there's a sense of exploration, there's a sense of excitement behind it, and promise is the word that Spirit wanted to give me. There's the promise. Oh, is that a Janet Jackson song? No, I don't know. Promise of a new day. I keep hearing somebody singing promise of a new day. So there could be a lot of expectation around this. And isn't that just so with energy like this when you're new? And if it is referring to some kind of physical beginning of something, there's always this anticipation, nervousness of just beginning a new phase of life, a new part of your journey. And I feel as though there's something very sultry. When I see this color combination in particular, these are some of my favorite colors, these plums and jewel tones, purples, deep purples. So I'm filled with such a calmness and a sense of sultriness, and Spirit just gave me the word vixen. Interesting. But okay, so that would suggest too that we're getting a little, Spirit just said, ahead of ourselves. That there's a sense of almost over-compromising, wanting to make a good impression, and then trying to live up to expectation when all you have to do is be yourself. So take that as it resonates. We'll get into it with the tarot. I'm going to pull 3 cards for the base spread, 3 cards for clarifier. This will be past, present, and future. And I'll probably pull 1 at the end, advice from Spirit. Yeah, amazing. Okay, so 2 more cards came out extra, and those will be advice from Spirit. So 8 cards on the table. The first 2 cards, your past energy, Page of Pentacles in the reverse. This is kind of a whimsical deck, so I hope you guys enjoy it. But Page of Pentacles, precisely so. Pages are the beginners of the court cards. They're the young ones. They're the ones, look at this guy. He's like getting into trouble, pulling all the pentacles off the shelf, seeing what he can get away with, right? So I don't know if there's uncharted territory here, and so some of you Cancers who are, I feel like I'm speaking to Cancers with probably some intense fire energy in their chart. You want to take some risks. You want to just say, I've never done this before. Let's just try everything. Let's throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. Right? So Page of Pentacles is somebody who is unafraid of being curious and exploring something. Although in the past energy, this was in reverse along with the Tower card. The Tower, Major Arcana number 16, references Aries energy and Scorpio. So those two signs are very bold. The Tower of the Tarot talks about something that is not built on a solid foundation. So it's kind of like something that we have to kind of juggle. Sorry if you can hear that beeping in the background. There's like a truck outside that's backing up. So that kind of suggests to me that backtracking, backpedaling, we had to back out of something because it was not serving our best and highest good. The Tower brings something down, knocks something over. It's an event. It's a phase of an unraveling of sorts. And you can see here, this is one of those jello, I don't even remember what these are called. They used to bring these to parties, like I guess in the 50s. They were very popular. They were like gelatin fruit salads. So disgusting. But they're really jiggly. It's really weird. There's a design here. I don't know if you can see it, but to me the design looks like 1035. 1035. I think that was an accident, but it looks like that. So maybe 1035. Maybe those are significant numbers to you. I mean, as a fruit salad, that looks absolutely disgusting, right? And like, no one's gonna like that. It's almost like this Tower moment was just this revelation of somebody saying, no one's gonna like that. No one's gonna buy into that. No one's going to consume that. Something along those lines. I'm not walking towards that because that just looks like a mess. So in the past energy, especially if this has to do with a relationship, a burgeoning relationship or burgeoning job or something in the past, there was something here that you completely rejected. This is what I feel. Can I have a clarifier on these two cards? Thank you, Spirit. Yeah, 10 of Wands in reverse. Look at that. Here are these kind of tools of cleaning, but they're all a jumbled mess. So it kind of negates the point. 10 of Wands is burden in the tarot. It's a fire sign energy. It's carrying too much. It's dealing with too much. We're stressed out. That stresses me out. Just look at this picture. How can we make heads or tails of anything? And when the card is in reverse, even more so, because it was this situation where it was almost as if you tried to like the gelatin fruit salad. You tried your best. You wanted to make it work. It was standing somewhat, but in the end, it just seemed like more aggravation than it was worth. And so what is the, this is beautiful. What is the present energy? The Chariot, number 7 of the Major Arcana, Cancer energy. Cancer, you showed up in your own reading. Very significant when a sign shows up in their reading in their Major Arcana form. So Major Arcana, the first 22 cards of the tarot, the archetypes of humanity represented in those cards. And also showing me the heavy hand of Spirit in this present situation for you. Past, present, and future. You got major arcanas in all of them. It's an indicator to me that your spirit guides are very close to you at this time. The Chariot card represents victory. And you see here what the cans say, the cans in their hand, they say risk. That's not necessarily a word that I would ascribe to the Chariot card, but I was talking about it before the cards even came out. Remember, I was saying like just like being bold, being like experimental, everything is new. So there could be something here where you just, it says risk, gain. I can't make out what those other two cards, the other two words are. Risk is like risk and reward, risk and gain. This is bravery. I feel like you've kind of closed the door on that past energy, that muddied, confusing, stressful, unreliable energy, and you're just stepping into your own. That's what, and especially because I'm reading for Cancers, you're completely stepping into your own. You're mastering the shadow aspects and the light aspects of you, because we have both. You're kind of facing your fears. You're asking yourself why you have those fears in the first place. Fears, hang-ups, misgivings, words like that are coming to my head. Interesting too, another page. It's interesting, you got two pages, right? So Page of Swords is somebody who, I mean, look at this kid just looks like he's up to no good. Like, you never want to see a kid with a sharp pair of scissors in their hands. It's just asking for trouble. You can see the handprints on the wall. What a mess. But the Page of Swords talks about curiosity. Again, how far can we push it? How far can we take things? It's also about learning, and Page of Swords can also talk about spying. They call this the little spy of the tarot. But it indicates to me, I mean, the fact that it's a little kid with scissors just indicates to me just there's a little bit of trouble in this interpretation of the card. There's a little bit of mischievousness, but you got this card in reverse. So what does it tell me? Yes, you're willing to take some risks. You're willing to go out, put yourself out there in order to achieve, and yet you're doing it in a way that is okay, I'm hearing Frank Sinatra's My Way in my head, that song My Way. You're doing it your way. You're not curious about like how, you're not comparing yourself to other people, right? You're not curious enough to see like what other people are doing. Maybe you've already done that curiosity. You've already done your research, or you've tried this and tried that, and you're just gonna live life by your own terms, right? That Frank Sinatra song. Can I get a clarifier for the Chariot, please? 5 cards. Am I taking all these, Spirit? 6 cards. That's a lot of cards, Spirit, but they're not letting me put them down, so I have to take them. Let's start with the 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords is this. So I'm asking, these are all clarifying cards for the Chariot. So it's almost like, what's backing this energy up? What's justifying this energy? How did we get here? How did we get here? Clarified by the 5 of Swords. That's comparison. 5 of Swords is like winning at all costs. It's looking at what other people are doing and kind of shaping and molding and conformity, Spirit just said. But I feel like you're releasing that conformity. Right? 3 of Cups in the reverse. This is the card in the upright. 3 of Cups is normally a card of celebration. Clinking glasses, highlighting all of the things that we are trying to revel in. But it's in reverse. So I feel like you looked at this comparison, maybe you tried. I feel as though maybe you tried at one point to kind of model yourself after someone else, and it just was not something that worked out for you. Can also see that as somebody giving up drinking, just as an aside, if you've given up drinking. King of Wands in the reverse. You know, we are talking about the Maiden card here, so for some of you, this could have been a person that you may have been interested in, who seemed like they had everything figured out. Interesting though, this card depicts a person who's got all the tools and they seem very organized, but they're sitting. They're not just sitting, they're reclining. And you could have been dealing with somebody who's very lazy. I feel like lazy in their behavior, lazy when it came to you. Number 5 in the major arcana, the Hierophant, Taurus energy. The Spirit's almost like broadcasting a message to you. Like, is this really what you're looking for? Yeah, it's very clear. They're broadcasting a message. Could have been difficult for you to pick it up. Death card and the 4 of Wands in the reverse. Death card, major arcana, Scorpio energy. And the 4 of Wands, the 1111 card, normally a portal card of celebration, passing through to some kind of, it's like heralding, right? Again, I'm hearing promise of a new day. I think there's somebody that, I think it's lingering though, because the Death card came out in reverse. So in a nutshell, right, because there are a lot of cards here, I'm asking for a clarifier for this Chariot card. I think I'm speaking to somebody who was either dealing with some kind of work scenario, partnership scenario, where there was somebody that had the promise of something. Maybe you were almost like a promise to one another. And the more you got to know this person, it just kind of fell flat. Because you're trying to conform to something that was not really you. And it's almost like you're shaving off, you know, little bits and pieces of your personality until, like, there's no head. There's like nothing. There was no part of you that was left. And so you just kind of casting all of that aside to step back into your own energy, which is amazing. I'm a Cancer and I totally relate to this, and I hope that you do too, in terms of casting off things that no longer serve you. However, what this also is triggering in me is the idea of cord cutting. And with this Death card, 4 of Wands in reverse, something not quite over. Something still lingering. Maybe this person is still in your orbit somehow. Maybe it's friends of friends or business partnerships that you still have like contracts with or something. You're trying to release. But I mean, I don't see it stopping you. Chariot card is fully in the upright. You're on your way to really conquering something in your life that has been, Spirit just said, overdue. Future potential, fantastic. The Lovers, right? Number 6 of the major arcana, Gemini energy. The Lovers, it's interesting though. Look at the shape of the direction of the car and what's underneath, right? It's a little bit of Thelma and Louise energy. Did you ever see that movie, Thelma and Louise? But also a sense of carefree freedom. The Lover's energy talks about divine partnership, but it can also talk about making a choice. Making a choice. It's clarified. This is your future energy now. The Lover's clarified by the Five of Wands. So you got a couple fives here. I don't like fives. If you watch my channel, you know that I'm not a fan because it's all about transition. Fives are all about transition. That's why I don't like them, because it's just like, can't we just get there already? It's like, Mom, are we there yet? Dad, are we there yet? But the Five of Wands talks about this inner conflict. So there is going to be a very significant choice presented to you in the very near future. And you're going to be torn about it. I think because of this lingering issue that has not yet been closed out. Like, see how the lid is hovering over the top of this yucky, I don't know what this is supposed to be. Everything expires, real salmonella. This is kind of hilarious. It's almost like Death card wants you to just literally put a lid on it. Put a lid on it. You know that expression? Put a lid on it. When somebody says put a lid on it, it's like, stop talking. Spirit is saying that you need to put a lid on something from your, it's lingering, and it's ever so slightly pulling you in different directions internally. This is the card of chaos and conflict. It could be external, but I don't feel like it's external. I feel like it's all internal. Here we want to jump and make this kind of leap of faith into something, but we have a hang up about it. Can I get a clarifier for the Five of Wands and the Lover's card? Seven of Swords. The Five of Swords and the Seven of Swords. Oh, Cancer, why? Why? But at least it's in reverse. Seven of Swords, I mean, it's not a terrible card. Seven of Swords talks about trying to gain the upper hand over an opposing party without letting them know that you have the upper hand. It's a subtle, it doesn't seem subtle here. Maybe it's not subtle anymore. See how there's a like thought bubble, or they're like discussing something. What is this card? This is so bizarre. It's such a bizarre. The Swords suit in the tarot is all about air energy, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. And it's information, data gathering, strategy, communication. So when you see a representation of swords or knives in this sense, it's a scheming energy. Everybody's scheming. How are we going to figure this out? How are we going to do this? How are we going to get the upper hand? And you got this card in reverse. So in your future potential, I definitely see some conflict in terms of the choice that you're going to make. Because once you make that choice, it really feels like you're closing the door completely. And maybe that's what's required in order for you to make room for something fun and exciting. You have to close the door to something that doesn't belong anymore. It's almost like, let's just say if it's a relationship scenario and there's somebody new on the horizon here. There might be somebody from the past that's comfortable, that you already know, that kind of just, you're trying to close the door and they have their hand in the door. Like, but wait, just wait a minute. It's just like, no, What else do I have to wait for? This is what I'm going after right here. 6 and 7. That's progression in the tarot. When you have cards in sequence, we're trying to make progress here. What's the advice from Spirit? Judgment card. And the 8 of Pentacles. This could be a work scenario. Ultimately, it's up to you, Spirit is saying, where you devote the majority of your time, effort, energy, and investment. 8 of Pentacles is all about investment, diligence, focus. This is a hilarious Judgment card. And kind of looking at herself as a piece of meat. To me, it kind of speaks of, like, there's a scale here, weighing up your options. There's a lot of sayings in your reading today. I don't know if it's the tarot deck itself that's making me think of these sayings the Spirit is bringing to me. You're weighing up your options. Ultimately, the Judgment card is about following your true path, your life's blueprint. Anytime something just kind of makes you pause, but in a way that makes you hesitate, there's something that's speaking to your intuition. There's a reason that you're pausing. Maybe because inherently you know something is not for you. But it could be vice versa too. But Spirit is saying you are the one that has to make the choice about it. They're saying whatever it is that you have a choice between, which one aligns with your values, with your hopes, dreams, and desires? Which one of these aligns? Because ultimately you have free will, right? Chariot, Lovers, Judgment, Hierophant, Tower, Death. Intense major arcana. Your spirit guides are really talking to you. They're really trying to appeal to your senses right now. I'm gonna read for the Maiden card, number 8. Number 8 harkens back to the Strength card of the major arcana. Leo energy. A mastery of the ego. This is for the Maiden. Virgin, princess, innocent. The Maiden archetype is the epitome of innocent arousal, naive sensuality, and precarious purity. She is compelling and addictive because of her flawless and youthful glow. She's the first archetype in the trifecta of the Maiden Mother Crone, and rightfully so, because she has oh so much to learn. The Maiden is perfectly positioned for trouble to come her way and subject her to a challenge that leads to the next phase of womanhood. She must grow up, yet hesitates at the threshold, enamored by the charms of youth. Right? She's being sucked back in. The Maiden represents the side of us that is riveted and curious, drawn to shadowy forests, dark nights, and taking just one taste of poisonous fruit. Her magic is edgy and includes both shame and delight. Let yourself fall down the rabbit hole, young one. So that's your reading, Cancer. I hope that you don't lose sight of the victory that is really coming in for you. Be true to yourself, and naturally these things from the past that don't belong will fall away. If this resonated, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Cancer.